Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I am Kim. This will be a short, gentle practice. We'll move our body all around, check in with our breath, connect in, get our energy, our breath flowing, and our body moving. Opening up any stuck areas, any blocked areas, and just spending this time with ourselves, body, mind, breath, and spirit. You may want a couple of yoga blocks for your practice. Grab them if you have them. If you don't worry about it. You may also want a strap. And again, if you don't have one, you can work around. We may just use it briefly. Grab your things. Come join me on the mat and bring yourself down onto your back into Shavasana. So you can take your version of Shavasana, legs extended down the mat to the outer corners, arms out to the sides, find a little space in the armpits. Can flip the palms up or down, depending on how you're feeling today. If you need a little bit of grounding energy, maybe you turn the palms down, root down towards the earth. Or if you're feeling open, you can flip the palms up, open to receive. If this doesn't feel good on the low back, you can always bend your knees, plant the feet on the mat, or maybe take the feet wider to the outer edges of your mat and allow the knees to knock in and rest together. So find a comfortable space for you to begin your practice. And then if it feels okay, you can close your eyes or just find a soft and steady gaze. Make any adjustments that you need to make here. If you need to rock the head side to side a few times, maybe you roll the shoulder blades underneath you a little bit. And then allow the back body to get heavy. Allow your foundation, all of your parts coming into contact with the floor, with the mat. Let all of those parts get heavy. Feel them heavy, weighing down towards the earth. And feel as if the earth is holding you and supporting you. So you can begin to let go of any holding or gripping or bracing. And just let everything soften, relax, release, let go. Take a moment to check in and notice how you're doing today. How are you feeling in your body, in your mind, in your emotions? Letting go of judgment, just getting curious, becoming aware of yourself. I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with yourself as you move through this practice. And if you so choose, to carry this intention off of the mat out into your day with you. Allowing everything to relax from your feet, through your legs, to the pelvis, the hips and groins, the belly, the back, the rib cage, the chest, the heart, shoulders and arms, hands and fingers, relaxing neck and throat, jaw, face, tongue, forehead, scalp, crown of head. All of it softening, relaxing, releasing. If you feel it, allow yourself to yawn, to sigh. Begin to call yourself back. Bringing in movement now, wiggling fingers and toes. Again, feeling free to yawn or sigh. Wherever you are, now extend the legs down the mat, bringing legs together or about hip distance apart. Reaching down through the legs as you reach the arms up overhead, reaching up and out through your fingers, down and out through your toes, whole body long. Pointing the toes and flexing the ankles. A couple times pointing toes, flexing ankles, rolling through a few times as you point and flex. And the next time you point the toes, reach up through right fingers as you reach down through right toes, and reach up through the left fingers as you reach down through the left toes, and then reaching up and out through fingers, down through toes, stretching whole body long, and then relax everything. And we'll take the right arm down along the right side of the body. Left arm can stay up along that left ear. Begin to wiggle upper body, head, shoulders, torso over towards the right, and then we'll walk feet over towards the right, coming into this half moon position. Could, if you like, cross one ankle over the other, and you can try both to see which one feels better in your body. Finding some spaciousness through that left side. A little contraction through the right side body. And then you can shift your gaze to wherever that feels okay, looking down towards feet or rolling the head to look up towards left arm or armpit. And then we'll bring everything back to center, uncrossing the ankles if they were crossed. Legs come back to center. Wiggle, scooch upper body back to center. Right arm comes back up along that right ear. Left arm comes down along the body. Wiggle, scooch upper body, head, shoulders, torso over towards left now. Feet over towards left. Find this reclining half moon. If you like, crossing one ankle over other. And then finding where it feels good for the head, neck, gaze. And then we'll slowly bring everything back to center. And now we'll roll over onto right side. You could rest your head down on the right arm if that feels okay for you, or tuck a blanket or block underneath your head. Extend the legs down the mat, legs stacked on top of each other. And then we'll begin to reach the left arm over towards the side of the mat. Come up onto the finger pads. And as you reach the left arm away from you, begin to reach that left leg back behind you. So left arm and left leg, foot reaching away from each other diagonally. You could bring the left foot down to a block or the floor, or you could keep that leg hovering. Reaching out through the left fingers and back out through that left foot. Feeling this through that whole side body. The obliques, hip flexors, up through that left armpit. And now we'll walk that left hand in, begin to bend the left knee and extend the left leg out in front of you. And come to the inner edge of that left foot and slowly begin to open your left arm out to the left side as you roll on to your back. We'll move back and forth through this just a couple times, rolling back over onto the right side as you take the left hand back out in front of you. Sweep that left leg back behind you, reaching left hand, left foot away from each other. And then again, we'll bring that left hand back in towards the body as you extend that left leg out in front of you, roll over onto your back, opening through left arm. finding this reclining twist. We'll do it one more time, rolling back over onto the right side. Left arm reaches out. Left leg reaches back behind you. And then one last time, rolling onto the back. Left leg sweeps in front of you. Left arm reaches out to the side. And then we roll back over onto that right side of the body. Take that left hand, left finger pads in front of you. You can keep the head resting down on the right arm or tuck that right hand behind the back or side of the skull. And this is where you may want to strap, if you have one, you could grab it or just act as if. We'll bend that left knee, draw that left knee up towards that left shoulder or armpit, root down into the pinky toe side of that right foot, and then either strap around the left foot or grab your left big toe with your peace fingers and begin to extend that left leg up. You could have a bigger little bend in the knee if you need it. Pull that left humerus back into the shoulder socket. Keep rooting down through that right side, through that right leg. And then slowly begin to bend that left knee, release the foot, extend that leg down. Rolling onto your back, we'll take it all over to the other side and do that same thing. So coming onto left side, left arm as pillow, right arm will reach out in front of you at an angle, and then we'll send that right leg back behind, hovering the leg, reaching right fingers, right toes away from each other. You could bring that right foot down to the floor. You could bring a block behind you, put the foot up on a block, reaching out through the right fingers, through the right toes. And then right hand will come back down to the mat. You're going to draw that right leg in and now extend the right leg over to the side as you roll over onto your back and open that right arm up. Right hand comes back over, come back over onto that left side, sweep that right leg back behind you as you reach up and out through those right finger pads, back through that right foot. And then again, we begin to roll it onto the back, extend the right leg out to the side, roll onto the back, right arm sweeps out. One more time, take it back onto that left side, sweep that right leg back behind you as you reach out with the right arm, right foot, reaching away. And then we'll take it onto the back again. Right leg sweeps out to the side as you unfold into this twist, and then right hand can come back in front of the chest. Stack that right leg on top of left. Head can stay where it is, or you tuck that elbow behind the back of your head. Right fingers to the mat in front of you. We'll bend that right knee, draw that right knee up towards the shoulder or the armpit. Press down into pinky toe side of the left foot. Grab your strap it around the ball of that right foot, or take your peace fingers around big toe. Slowly you begin to send that right leg up. Really rooting into the outer edge of that left leg to help you with your balance here. And then bend the right knee, release that foot, right hand comes back down, and you extend that right leg back down on top of the left, and then slowly roll yourself over onto your back. Let's take hands to the knees, draw the knees into the chest, interlace together, roll your knees around in a few circles. Switch the direction. And bring yourself to center, hands behind back of the thighs. Bend the knees, pull the knees into the chest as you send your feet up towards the ceiling. Stay here. or take it into a happy baby, reaching the hands up for the feet. Inner edges, outer edges, heels, calves, shins, whatever is accessible to you. And then gently pull down on whatever you've got a hold of, staying at center or gently rocking it side to side. And then back to center. You come, knees into the chest. Keep hold of that right knee as you extend the left leg down the mat. Hug the right knee in. And then draw a left knee into the chest. Take hold of that left knee as you extend right leg down the mat. Gently hug that left knee in. Right knee draws back into the chest, and now you find your way up into a seated position. You can rock and roll yourself back and forth along the spine and roll your way up, or you can just roll over to the side, press yourself up. From your seated position, let's take it into a table. Hands will come forward. You step your feet back. Wrists lining up under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's extend the right leg back, hip level-ish. And now take that right foot over towards the left side of the mat. Drop down onto ball of that right foot. Peek over towards that right foot. Little crunch through that left side. Finding space through right side. And then bring that right leg back to center. We'll drop ball of that foot down to the mat. Press out through hands and out through heel. Release right knee down. Extend left leg back behind you, hip level-ish. And then slowly we'll bring that left foot over towards the right side off the mat. Come onto ball of that foot. Take a little peek over towards that foot. And then we'll bring it back to center. Drop ball of left foot down to the mat. Pressing down into the fingers, down into the hands and out through that back heel. And then release that left knee down to the mat. Tuck your toes under behind you. Press into the hands. Lift up through forearms, up through armpits. Glide hips up and back. Bigger little bend in the knees here. Keeping the back nice and long. Keeping the natural curves through the spine here. And then find a little movement. Pedal out your legs. Or bend and straighten the knees. Or just rock yourself back and forth or side to side. And then slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet. And then we'll come into a ragdoll forward fold at the back of your mat. So for a moment, lift your belly up off of your thighs. Again, bigger little bend in the knees here, especially if you've got tight hamstrings. We'll fold from the hips. So we're not folding from the back, folding from the hips. Hinge it forward, bring belly to thighs. Let the head go. Release hands to the mat or grab elbows. Shake, nod your head. Maybe rock your hips side to side. Maybe let the arms sway. And then bring it to center. Hands to your hips, press into your feet, lift your heart, come all the way up to stand. Turn to face that long edge of your mat. Feet about hip width, arms out to the side. Finding your Tadasana, mountain pose, rooting down through the feet as you lift up through the arches of the feet, up through the inner legs, up through the belly. Sweeping in and up through low back, side body wiggles, long crown of the head reaches up. Let's take palms together at your heart. Reach the arms up overhead. Trying belly in and up, side body long, reaching up through fingers as you root down into the feet. And then gently, little side arch over to the right. Draw in through the belly, come up to center, and then gentle little side arch over to the left. Back up to center. Let's take palms to the heart. Step your feet out wide. Feet parallel-ish. And then it's open, arms wide, 5-pointed star. Release your arms down. Soften your knees. Turn your right toes towards the top of your mat. Keeping knees bent. Rock yourself side to side a few times. Finding a little opening through the inner legs, thighs. And then we'll bring it into a triangle pose. Begin to straighten that left leg. Bend the right knee, and then begin to bring that right leg a little bit straighter as you pull that right hip back, hinging from that right hip, side body long. So you fold yourself over to the right. Keep hands on hips or rib cage. A few deep breaths. Nice long spine. And then press down into the right foot, maybe a little micro bend into that right knee. Press into the foot, lift yourself back up. And then we'll turn that right foot in, soften knees, turn left toes towards other end of the mat. Rock yourself from side to side a few times. And then we'll take it into a triangle on this side. A little bend in that left knee. Begin to pull the hips back as you hinge from that left hip. Begin to bring that left leg a little bit straighter. Nice long side body. Folding over to the left. Hands on hips or rib cage. And then maybe a little micro bend in that left knee. Press into the feet, lift up through pelvic floor, belly, bring yourself back up to center. Turn left foot in, other side again, soften the knees. Turn right toes towards the other end of your mat. Few little rocks from side to side. Then we open it into our triangle pose. Pull the hips back, right knee starts bent, and then you begin to straighten that leg. Always you can always keep a micro bend in that right knee if you feel you need it. Folding over towards the right. And now either keep hands on hips or we'll take right hand to the right shin or thigh. Folding over to the side. Left hand can stay on the hip or you can reach that left arm up. Right hand, left hand, reaching away from each other. Keeping that length through both sides of the body, right side too. And then left hand comes back to the hips, soften that right knee, press into that foot, lift yourself back up. Right foot turns in to center again, soften knees. We'll turn that left foot over towards the other end of the mat. Rock yourself side to side, and let's open it back into our triangle on this side. Bend that left knee, begin to straighten that leg as you pull the hips back, fold it over to the left. Hands on hips or rib cage or left hand to shin or thigh, or you could grab a block here if you like. Right hand stays on hip or open the arm up. You can shift your gaze around to where it feels comfortable for your neck. You can look down or out in front of you or up towards that upper hand. And then right hand comes back down to the hips. Soften that left knee, press into that foot. Lift yourself back up. And then turn the left toes in. Do it one more time to each side. Soften knees, right toes turn towards other side of the mat. Rock yourself back and forth. And then let's open it into triangle. Folding from the hips over to the right. Side body long, hands on hips or rib cage, or you open the arms up. Left hand reaches up. Maybe you even reach that left arm alongside that left ear. Reaching out through those left fingers. And then left hand comes back to that left hip. Soften that right knee. Bigger little bend in that knee. Press into that foot. Lift yourself up. Right foot turns back in. Left foot turns to other side of the mat. Soften knees. Rock yourself side to side. Let's open it up into our triangle again. Hips pull back, hinging from left hip. Side body tips to the left. Hands on hips, rib cage, left hand to shin or block or thigh. Right arm opens up towards ceiling, or you reach that arm up and over the ear. And then right hand back to that hip. A little bend in that left knee, press into that foot. Lift yourself up. Let's turn that left foot back in. Feet parallel-ish again. And now we'll turn the toes out, turn the heels in, bend your knees, lower yourself down into temple pose, goddess pose, horse pose, whatever you would like to call it. Let's interlace the fingers behind the head. Heart lifted, elbows wide. Sit a little deeper. Wiggle the sides of the body long, nice long spine. And then let's gently fold over towards the right elbow pointing over in the direction of that right knee. Head pressing back into the hands. And then lift yourself back up to center. Sit a little deeper. And then over towards left side. Left elbow moving in the direction of that left knee. Back up to center you come. Over to the right again. Back up to center. Over to the left, back up to center, sit it a little deeper, and then straighten the legs, release the hands, turn the toes back up towards the long edge of the mat, feet parallel-ish again, hands to the hips, begin to slowly fold yourself in. Knees can be soft here. You can keep hands on your hips or release the hands down to the floor, or you could grab a block here. Put a block under your hands and allow yourself to fold in. Let your head go. Shake the head out. Hands come back to your hips, soften your knees. Lift your heart up, all the way up you come. Take the arms wide back into our five-pointed star. Release the arms down and then step your feet back together. Back into our Tadasana. Let's reach the arms up, palms together overhead. Rooting down through feet, reaching up through fingers. Body nice and long. And then we fold it over to the right. Back up to center, fold it over to the left, back up to center, hands slide down to the heart. Turn to face top of your mat again. Sweep your arms out to the sides and up, palms together overhead. And then we'll fold it down into forward fold, big or little bend in the knees, hinging from the hips, belly to thighs. Bend your knees a lot. Get your hands down on the mat. Walk yourself out into downward dog. Drop your knees down. Find your way into Shavasana once again. Your Shavasana. Get comfortable. Knees bent or legs extended. Arms out, or maybe you bring hands to rest somewhere on the body, the belly, the heart, solar plexus. And let everything relax again. No need for any effort. Mental or physical, just relax, let go. Stay here in your Shavasana for as long as you like. When you feel complete, begin to call yourself back. And come back to our intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with ourselves. Smile. Thank yourself for showing up for your practice today and for showing up for you. Taking this time with yourself to get to know you. Bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly, connect in. Take a deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out of your mouth. Make an audible sigh. Release your hands and then slowly find your way over to one side. Press yourself up slowly. Come back into a seated position. Palms together at your heart. Thank you so much for sharing this gentle practice with me. With love and gratitude. Namaste.